We can be awful stubborn. And this again is another one of them. Talking about capacity, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what this is about. It's really hard to measure liquid things because you can't really take a ruler to measure liquid things. So we have to do it by what we call capacity, and that would be what we have here. And we have, again, two different systems that we in the United States like to confuse everybody with. One of them is our normal one that your great-grandparents brought over from England or wherever they came from. And you'll see Mr. Gallon is over there. Seems like we've talked about this before, but here's the deal with that. And if you want a good way to remember, like, again, it would be nice if whoever did our little system would have worked with units of 10, but it's not. Sometimes there's 2 of something, sometimes there's 4 of something, sometimes there's 8 of something. At least they would pick nice round numbers. If you look at this, and you can kind of draw, you can draw this with me. Draw a big rectangle something on your paper, or a big square, whatever you want to do. I'll make mine really big. This here stands for a gallon. 1 gallon. And inside of our gallon, how many quarts does it take to make up a gallon? Some of you know, some of you don't. There are 4 quarts that make up a gallon. We'll just abbreviate quarts as QT. Use what you call your friends, I don't know. And the nice thing about this is if you draw this out, you can say, well, if you have a half a gallon, how many quarts are in a half a gallon? Just 2 because it's there. And then next thing smaller than quarts we have are the pints. Or pints, as some people like to call them. Yeah, how many pints make up 1 quart?
16. No, 8.
How many pints make up a quart? 2, thank you very much. 2 pints make up a quart. I didn't ask how many were in a gallon. I asked how many make up a quart. So inside every quart, we are going to put 2 pints. It's nice when you can color coordinate them because that really looks a little spiffy. So then, yes, if I asked you how many pints make up a gallon, you would say, oh yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8. How many pints in a half a gallon? 2, 4, 6. How many pints in a quarter of a gallon?
2.
Oh, look at you go. How many pints in 3 quarts?
6.
And then, when we go quarts, the next thing smaller is?
Cups.
Cups. And how many cups make a pint?
4.
No, 2. Good thing we got Mr. Gallon working for us. Inside every pint would be 2 cups. Inside every pint is 2 cups. 2 cups. Whew. I'm getting tired of drawing cups. Which then means in a gallon there are a lot of cups. How many, you ask? 16 cups in a gallon. And it's important to remember, children, that, you know, when you ask for a cup of milk, rarely do your parents give you a cup because we come in this over-excessive society. Like when you go to McDonald's, you will never get a cup of pop. You'll always get some half a gallon or whatever those big sizes is. This technically, this is a real, honest to goodness measurement of 1 cup. That's the size. And how many of you would probably drink a little bit more than that? By the way, this is your milk carton. And again, I don't understand because do you know what it says on your milk carton? It doesn't say 1 cup. Anybody? Look, how many of you get milk? Anybody get milk in here? Today when you go get your milk carton, you know what it'll say? I don't know why. It doesn't say a cup, it says a half of a pint. 1 pint is 2 cups, but you only get 1 cup, so they call it a half a pint. I don't know why they don't just call it a cup. Doesn't make any sense. And then we break cups into ounces, and in every cup there is 8 ounces, and I'm just going to put the number 8 in there to stand for 8 ounces. How many left enough room to put the letter number 8 in there? So 1 cup, this is 8 ounces. And then after that, when your parents do some baking or cooking, we use smaller measurements. What are they, do you know? Teaspoons, tablespoons, a dash, a dab, I don't know. I think there are 4 tablespoons per ounce, and there are 3 teaspoons for every tablespoon. So if I asked you this question, how many ounces are in a gallon? Anybody with 16 times 8? Yeah, that's what I thought. 128. 128. Oh, what is that? Awful noise. It is. All right, let's go back to normal size. How small was that? Oh, that ain't too bad. Now, so there is our lovely customary system. Guess what the metric system has? Just 2 measurements we got to know. One of them is, well, the basic one is the liter. I guess I got to take this a little bigger. What is a liter? Oh, no, I don't want that. 1 liter. You don't see a lot of things in a liter. Guess what this is?
A liter.
It is not a liter, but it's close. It's actually a half of a liter. So a liter is 2 of these. A liter is just a touch bigger than a quart. Just a little bigger than a quart. A little bigger than a quart. And then we have what's called 1 milliliter. In the metric system, MILLI stands for?
1,000.
Thank you, you guys are good. 1,000. So there are 1,000 milliliters in a quart. And here, let me show you what a milliliter looks like. If I could. Oh, there it is. Right there. If this were a cup, if this were empty or open or wasn't a solid, if you could actually put water in it, this would be a milliliter. A milliliter is the amount of water you can put into a centimeter cube. So you take 1,000 of these, put it together, 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. Now, see how many of you are paying attention. How many of these can I put into this bottle? If I said this was a half of a liter, I can put 1,000 of these in 1 liter. This is a half a liter, Andrew. Yeah, believe it or not. Would you feel that? Do you think that you could actually put 500 of these in this thing? It doesn't seem like it, but you could. I can almost guarantee you could. Actually, you want to know how I can count? I'm going to prove it. Say, prove that to me.
Prove that to me. Show me some.
All right, here you go. Here's your proof. Take a look. See. This, believe it or not, is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by. There are 1,000 of these in here. I can guarantee you that because you could sit there and count them. Well, here, Andrew says I don't believe you. You just count. How many squares do you see right there? It's a 10 by 10. So there's 100. How many layers of 100 are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, which is. Right, so there's 1,000 there, which means this fits exactly inside this little plastic thing. So this is the same as 1 liter. 1,000 of these. This is 1 liter. This is half a liter. So if I pour this whole thing in here, it should take up half of it, which would be 500 of those little things. Unfortunately, Mrs. Stone took back or died. You can't, math can never be proven wrong. That's right. I can put this will fill this up exactly halfway. And you might not think so, but it will.
Yeah, it looks like more than half.
To me, it looks like it's less than half, actually.
Yeah.
But for you doubters, I will fill it out with the rest. Right, making sure I don't have it here, I'll fill it all the way. That's probably about what they put in there.
Yeah. Picture of the open.
It won't, because of the turbo pressure.
Oh, a little less than all the way. No, that's only a loss.
So there is your 500 of these. 500 of these. I don't even know what we're supposed to be talking about anymore. Take a look at page 555 in your books. 555. And it's good, look at where it says lesson practice letter A. It says 1/4 of a dollar is a quarter. What is the name for 1/4 of a gallon? So you can look at your whole thing and say, well, we know that 1/4 of a gallon is 1 quart. Or number 2 says, how many pints equal a gallon? You can just look at this and go, oh, 2, 4, 6, 8 pints equal a gallon. Or how many milliliters? Ooh, how many milliliters do equal 2 liters? Well, remember 1,000 equal 1, so 2 of them, Trevor, is 2,000. And the last one, a cup is a half of a pint. Oh, a cup is how many ounces? So that shouldn't be too hard since it says 8. So you got it all right there. Your assignment 85, children. Top to it.